Live from New York, this is WIUR Radio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 6 of the Pop Culture Crew. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jackson Burkhart.
Jack Driscoll.
Jack Driscoll. Always. Let's jump right into it because actually,
we have a lot.
I know Jack is very excited to talk about this today. So yesterday we saw the Chainsaw Man movie.
The Chainsaw Man,
Jack,
the Reese arc.
I'm gonna let you take it away because you're more of a
my bad.
bigger Chainsaw Man guy than me.
So
when you open up the
floor. I mean, I think this is something, even if you're not a huge fan of Chainsaw Man, I think you can agree that the animation was spectacular.
It's just
I think
one of the best I've ever seen.
I
don't even like Chainsaw Man.
I mean, there's just so many scenes in the movie that they just went the extra mile and they made it like the music and the animation were like,
100%.
I know you're not a big fan of the opening song. But I think even the opening animation where they're like doing the dance and they're like on the carousel, the weird trippy animation they like to do came through. I mean, I've read the manga. I've known about the story for years. I mean, freshman year, me and my girlfriend, we've been knowing about this arc. But
is that when you read it for the first time?
Yeah, I read it 3 years ago. And it's just the story is great. I mean, in my opinion, like it's the highest that Chainsaw Man gets. Chainsaw Man is never a crazy philosophical show. There are parts of it that are, but it for the most part, it is just kind of just how crazy can we get? Like, spoiler alert for the movie, I'm going to go through some of the stuff, but like, there's a scene where Chainsaw Man literally is riding a shark with legs using his chainsaw, and he's like, "Get me up this building right now," or like,
which was very entertaining.
And like, there's a scene where they're fighting a giant baby that's making a hurricane, and he's like, "Throw me into the baby so I can kill him." And they did animate. I think they did a phenomenal job animating my favorite line. In the entirety of Chainsaw Man, which is a spoiler alert. The every girl I try to meet tries to kill me, and everybody wants my chainsaw heart. What about Denji's heart? That's like my favorite line in the entire show.
Very silly, but I enjoyed it. No, it was good. I didn't get to finish. I was like an episode and a half short from finishing it before we went to the movie, and he kind of just explained like the rough outline of what happened. So far, I enjoy Chainsaw Man a lot. It's just I think it's like one of those things where it clicks for a lot of other people and doesn't click as much for me.
That makes sense.
But it was one of those things that like if you do watch the first season, which is short, it's only 12 episodes, I would actually recommend still going to see it because it was just a fun movie.
It was just genuinely enjoyable.
Like there was the music
very
was
few
great,
problems.
aside again from the one song I really dislike. It was really good. The animation was one of the best I've ever seen. A lot of the characters are likable,
especially Beam.
Yeah, I wasn't sold on him at first, and then he clutched up. I was like, "This guy's awesome." He's just Shark Man,
and all he does is he's just like, "I Lord Chainsaw." And he's screaming the whole movie.
I love him. He is actually probably my new favorite Chainsaw character.
I mean, that's fair.
Really
He's like. He's the goat.
Funny.
He's the goat.
So I thoroughly enjoyed him, but no, it's one of those things that I mean, I don't know how long we're waiting for the next seasons or how many.
It hasn't been confirmed whether like what's happening with it or not, but they've
probably not
teased it.
Read this one. I'm probably just gonna wait for this one to come out.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I'm now more excited than I was because the movie's really good. I mean, there's definitely like sad stuff in the movie. I'm not saying it's like a feels good, like really happy movie.
It's definitely there's heavy stuff in it,
but it was one of those movies you leave. Like I got up out of the theater, and I was like, that was good.
Yeah,
that was a very enjoyable like 2 hours of my life.
I would say the last 5 minutes of the movie are decently like if you're like depending on what you think, the last 5 minutes of the movie are decently heartbreaking. Like you're watching a lot of stuff.
Pretty sad.
There's like a lot of stuff like
rough.
Without spoiling, like there's throughout the movie there are people like collecting money for like people and like children who are affected by the natural disasters created by the devils and stuff. And like it's what I've always said about Chainsaw Man is that the sad stuff happens in the background. You get your adrenaline kicking energy, and then you have to look at the consequences that happens after. Like
Yeah.
the scene where Kishibe and Aki are looking at all the people, the dead people they're carrying out of the buildings, and he's like talking about all the Russian stuff, and it's like they're not talking about the like 12 dead people they just took out of the building, and you're just looking at it and you're kind of like, damn. Even though that whole thing was cool, like people died.
Which is an interesting way to do it when it's not like you have to paint that like, but now we have to do 10 minutes to like commemorate the people when
Yeah.
it's just kind of in the background when you watch it. That's like, again, you didn't watch it with us, but a couple of us last year watched The Zone of Interest one night, and that movie I think hits at least me so hard is because you don't see any of the horrible stuff going on. You just hear, if you know what went on.
Yeah.
But you just can hear it and see glimpses of things in the background while everything else is supposed to be like almost positive or whatever. Like some things are trying to be positive. There's one scene where some woman comes over and the wife of like the general is like just being like, "Oh, I planted all these new flowers."
Yeah, you told me
like,
about this scene.
and you could just hear like faint screaming
And like the gunshots.
smoking,
Yeah.
and it's like that they're not showing it to you. It's just like this in the background thing that you like. It's just drilling its way into your head in such an uncomfortable, unique way that it is different. If you just are like, this is what this scene is about, and you show us all of that, versus you're going to show something else as the focus, and you're going to put little details in the background. You're like, wow. But no, Chainsaw Man was great. We had a very good time.
Very good. I had a great time.
Yeah.
One of the first times I was able to drag my girlfriend out to see a movie with me in recent years. As nursing is very busy.
That was fun. But no, it's a very good movie.
Great
I
movie.
recommend checking it out. If you've had any interest and haven't yet, I've had people telling me to watch Chainsaw Man for years. You being one of them, being like, "Oh, it's good," and check it out. I'm like, maybe. I actually would say too, if you're not a huge fan of the first season,
this would make you a fan.
Power through it because the reward is then you get to
movie.
see a really good movie.
And the animation is against
that. Like again, if you haven't seen the first season, it's not going to make the same sense.
It's not going to make the same sense, but it's not so bad where you can watch it and you won't have any idea. Like he didn't finish the last 2 episodes, and he still kind of got
car on the
and like he still kind of got what was going on in the movie. It was very clear. Like it's setting up a lot of what we've seen of Chainsaw Man so far is setting up for kind of the climax. So it won't make sense in the first place, really, at the end of the movie. So you'll be all right.
Okay.
Just watch the season either before or after you go. It's okay.
All right. Quick little side note. We did get the secret layers.
We did get the secret layers today. If you did miss them, unfortunately, they are probably gone. I can check after the show, but they're probably gone. They are not printed demand.
You probably missed your window on that.
So good luck getting them scalped.
Yep.
But we dropped my friend Chris. Thanks, shout out Chris. Dropped about like $350 for everyone's secret layer, probably like $400. So thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Well, we're gonna pay him, but thank you, Chris, for waiting in the line and getting them faster than any of us.
For real,
because he got in there. For those of you who don't know how the process works, there's like you go to check out and there's a lounge where you have to sit and wait on the line, like you're waiting for concert tickets. Like you wait on the line. I got in, and I said I had more than an hour, like an hour and a half over. I believe Shane was 35 minutes by the time that Chris got in, so he was around an hour, and you were like 2.5 hours, like not even close.
It was just like an hour and a half. And I was
like, Chris got in 27 minutes after he entered the lounge. He was able to pay and be done with it. So shout out to Chris.
Yes, thank you, Chris. But we're excited.
Yeah, very excited. Deck has already been ordered.
I can't wait to lose again.
Ellie and Abby's not that bad. Okay.
Because every time I think I'm winning in Magic, he pulls out some technique where, I just
wait till I have Ellie's Rage, where whenever a creature I control dies, all your stuff dies too.
Great. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
But, anyway, big things. So The Last of Us.
Yes. Last of Us Part 2. Just finished that one last week. I'm gonna be the first one to say that game is not nearly as bad as everybody has told me it was. I know that's been a consensus that started in the last few years, but I don't see it. I don't get how you can play the game in the first place and still come out saying like that and need to think about it. I sat there and like, spoiler, it's the end of the game. When she puts the guitar down at the end of the game, I genuinely I had to take a deep breath. I was like, wow. It was a phenomenal game. I think you have said it before. It is far from perfect. There are issues with it. I mean, but every game has their issues.
No, there
I
are
think,
pieces of this game that are amazing.
yeah,
And then there are parts where I'm like, wow, that really
stunk.
missed the
It
mark.
really stunk.
And I'm sorry, there just isn't about the first one.
No, there's not. I will
about
maintain
the
this.
first
There's
one.
nothing that is bad about the first one.
There's nothing that ever misses the mark. Maybe you could say about the original or the remastered version about gameplay things or maybe like graphical. But when we're talking about the part one, the
Story.
newest remade
And
version,
yeah,
there's nothing that misses the mark.
there's nothing wrong with it. It's a gorgeous game, by the way. Played it PlayStation 5, the remastered. Gorgeous. And I played the original Last of Us 2 as well. That game is beautiful.
Mhm.
The 2020 PlayStation 4 version,
Mhm.
gorgeous.
That's
I
what I
mean,
have.
Incredible. Like, I know the remaster gives it the 60 frame. It looks really nice. Incredible. I mean,
It's still great. It's still great.
I think, in my opinion, what really pushed the game to its test, like the city of Seattle looks great, but in my opinion, when the game really let loose and did something crazy was that final inferno that you have to play through as Abby was incredible to play through. I mean,
That's probably like, aside from the suburban town as
Mhm.
Ellie, that's probably my favorite encounter between
Because
both the games is on the Seraphite
it's
Island.
not like a lot of times in the game, especially in the second one, they don't give you this option in the first one, which kind of stinks, but they couldn't really at the time. You get the option in the part 2 to turn the zombies onto the other humans. Like when you're in the subway with Dina and Ellie and you're running away from the wolves, and the clickers show up, you can throw a brick right next to their feet. They won't find you, and the clickers will find them and kill them. And it's like, it's such a cool gameplay addition that you don't really think about. And then in The Last of Us, and at the end of it with Abby and that Inferno, you are turning human. The humans are already fighting each other. You just have to figure out, like, there's a section where right before you get to the boat, where you have to decide whether you're going to fight through the wolves or the Seraphites. Like, it's not like a game makes you decide, but like you get to the point and there's the Seraphites on one side and there's the wolves on the other. And it's like there's like 20 wolves and like 15 Seraphites. And you're like, okay, I can't run straight through the middle of this. And like, at least my thought process was the wolves have like guns. They have real rifles and pistols. And the Seraphites, you have a pistol and a bow. And I was like, more than likely I can get through them. And it was hard. It took me, like, I played the game on hard. I wouldn't necessarily say I'll ever go and play it on grounded because I think I might like throw my PlayStation across the floor, because like the Tommy section was the hardest part in the game, in my opinion. I died so many times in that section with the parking garage where Tommy is shooting the cars to get the zombies to come towards you, because as soon as I poked out from the car, Tommy would blow my head off, and I'm
You're
like
fighting a wave of zombies that he's sending towards you.
Yeah, and then he's shooting you at the same time. So it's like,
and Tommy's a good shot.
Yeah, Tommy's a good shot.
A very good shot.
I mean, talk about also before we move on to the next thing, because I've been talking a lot. I know that a lot of people love Tommy. What Neil Druckmann did at the end of the game was actually a masterful character writing for Tommy, where he comes in and goes, "You're pathetic because you're not chasing Abby anymore."
And it's heartbreaking, but
it makes sense.
It makes sense, and it's a really interesting way to write that character.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would be like, "Oh, but the Tommy I know would never do that." And it's but would he?
Like, because we hear about how him and Joel are just two sides of the same coin. Like, I think Ellie says it to Dina. She's like, I can't. She was like, Tommy used to like torture people in Boston, like before they made their way out. And she's like, I just can't imagine Tommy doing that. And she's like, well, I can, because I've seen what Joel can do. And the both of them they're the same. They're two sides of the same coin, but one is trying to run away and the other one isn't. Like, Joel accepts it and becomes a husk of a human being. And then Tommy runs away from it and tries to find something else. Which before we move on, I would like to say a lot of people a big thing that I've heard a lot of people say is that they don't understand why Joel just gave his identity to a random group of armed people living outside of Jackson. And I think Video Game Donkey makes a phenomenal point where we see the Joel in part 1 is a husk of a human being who, through his journey with Ellie, learns to be human again, and it's that one slip up that he gets from just being too trusting. Now he's met all these people, he lives in this town, that then gets him killed.
I still, that is still a minor complaint I have with the game. I do get that point, and I agree with some parts of it, but it is just one of those things that, especially that it's Joel and Tommy together.
Yeah.
And it is like they're in this blizzard, yeah, and blah blah blah. But there's this group of armed people that are camping with a perfect lookout at Jackson.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that they're so open to be like, Tommy's like, ride into town with us. It's like they're just a little too
Yeah.
open to these people. Not even like, oh, they said their name, like God, but I just like, and honestly, in that scene, Joel does look somewhat uncomfortable.
Yeah, Joel looks uncomfortable.
And then like
doesn't.
Tommy doesn't, and it's not like it just. I don't even know that I could say I could come up right now off the top of my head a better situation for them to be in for it to make better sense. I just think with all of those things, like it's at night during a blizzard, they
Yeah.
almost all died. And there's this group of like 10 armed to the teeth people with travel gear. Not even like, oh, they've been holed up there for a couple months. Like that's their
They
new
have like
base.
sleeping
They're
bags and
clearly
horses.
like on the road looking for something, going somewhere. And they're just like, y'all just hanging out?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, what? Coming from the two dudes that a couple of years, and yes, I agree that that is one of the things about the first one is that Ellie opened up Joel more, but it is just like that little piece of him that like trusted absolutely no one.
Yeah.
Didn't shine through in that moment. But anyway, we're gonna take a quick ad break, and then after that I have some interesting things we're gonna go through that are us getting to give the more nitpicky critiquing side of some things. But we'll take a quick ad break. Quick.
See you guys.
This is WIUR Radio.
Hi, this is Anthony Carlo, TV news reporter in New York City and proud alum. If you're looking for a career in media, Iona is the place to be. From internships to real-world experience, Iona's media program is unprecedented. Take it from an industry professional who made it in the biz.
Now back to WIUR, Iona University Radio.
This is WIUR Radio.
Hi, I'm Morgan Beastie from the Ionian, and I hope you're enjoying today's show. Are you looking for the latest scoop on campus news, sports, and more? Check out the Ionian, Iona University's very own award-winning student newspaper. We keep you up to date with everything happening on and off campus. Want to know about the big game, the latest campus event? It's all in the Ionian. Join the conversation. Read, write, and get involved. Visit www.theionian.org or pick up a copy around campus. Stay informed, stay connected. Now, back to WIUR, Iona University Radio.
All right. Thank you to our sponsors, our ads. Thank you very much. But let's get back into it because it's about to get heated, Jack.
Okay.
So the calm before the storm, before we get heated, right before we came here, literally like 15 minutes before we came here.
Yeah.
So news on the Batman Part 2.
Oh, yes. You want me to share?
Yeah. Quickly, what we just saw online. Literally, we were like getting up to leave to come here.
I believe it was confirmed that the Matt Reeves Batman Part 2 takes place just a few weeks after the Penguin. So expect that whatever happened in that show has a massive part to do with Batman, and will probably explain why he wasn't in the show, which I think was a good thing.
And that if that is confirmed and it's true, we're not doing a 3-year time jump or anything. It's not like we're going to be picking up in
maybe a month or two off the first one.
Because I would say the
Penguin's
I
like
think
a week and a half.
The Penguin, I think only like a week. I think it's like 5 to 7 days.
Yeah.
After the Batman, and I think the Penguin takes place over a couple months. Actually,
oh yeah,
I think it's a few months because he builds that whole underground network. I don't think it's many. I think it's like
maybe a month and a half.
Well, actually, that would make sense if it's a couple months and we're in, because it is winter. It is definitely winter. I think there might have even.
It was winter in the Penguin.
That's what I'm saying. So in the Penguin, it's like winter time. Or a couple months
snowing
after
at the
Batman,
end, if I remember correctly.
Just like a month or two. And then if it's a week after the Penguin, we're in winter, probably past Christmas, which is what a lot of people, which actually would connect dots. But a lot of people have been saying for years that it's going to be taking place in the winter. And a lot of people think Mr. Freeze will be in it. Here's the thing though, Matt Reeves and James Gunn came out and publicly said that they're like the main antagonist of this movie is a Batman one that no one will see coming. So I highly doubt it'll be Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
I don't
I think it'll be.
Why
Mr.
would they
Freeze.
say that? And then it's
Because
like one of the most.
Do you
popular
really think that? No, it's not the most one of the most popular. I think
Just
the-
he is.
no,
Absolutely.
it's Scarecrow, Joker, and what's his name?
Bane.
Bane. Those are the three.
I would put
Mr.
Mr.
Freeze
Freeze up
is like
there.
4 or 5. Like there are
But there are a lot way lower.
Yeah,
than
but like
him.
I
It
think
can't be Clayface.
if
If they're
it's-
making that
yeah,
Clayface movie,
if it's gonna be Mr. Freeze, if it's not gonna be Mr. Freeze, it's gonna be the Court of Owls.
I think I have a sneaking suspicion, and Mr. Shane, who was here a couple of weeks ago, three of us, and we
Mhm.
talked a lot about it because they're very, very passionate, excited for the Batman and the Penguin, the Matt Reeves Batman
Yeah.
universe. He's very
He's a big
in
Batman
belief
fan.
that it's going to be Hush, and I actually have a strong suspicion it's going to be 2 villains.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be 2
I
villains
think
too.
one will probably take the seat over, but I think they're going to set up more than one.
I think,
it'll
and
be-
I don't
let's
think the
say it's
Penguin's even
Hush.
really going to be in it. I think
Mhm.
that the Penguin's going to be plotting in the
Well,
background.
no, I think
what's
think
his name? Confirmed.
Colin-
Colin Farrell said that he has like
he said 5 to 6 scenes,
yeah.
like short scenes. So
Yeah.
which is good because I don't think it needs.
No,
to
I don't
be
think it
about
needs. Isn't it supposed to be like 3 hours long? The script.
something like that.
It's
They're all
supposed to be a
like
long
3
movie. I
hours.
say they're supposed to be a
Um,
long movie.
I'm in for it though.
Yeah. I mean, the
Very
Batman
excited.
Part 1, I was very skeptical when I saw it, and I went to the theater. I was like, oh my god.
But yeah, very excited. If anything comes out about that, we're waiting like 2 more years. It's actually
Yeah.
like, isn't it like Halloween of 2027? So we let from
Yeah,
from like
2027.
about
From about now, we have 2
like
years.
2 more years. So
We have a lot, but we have a lot of good stuff coming up on the horizon to tide us over before the Batman Part 2. I think. I mean, it's exciting and everything. But we have like the Simpsons movie 2. We have the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. We have a lot
very
going on.
excited. For
Yeah,
the
we
Simpsons movie
have a
too.
lot going on.
Simpsons is near and dear to my heart. But we're gonna get into a hot topic today, Jack.
Okay.
Who is your and I wrote best and favorite, like a mix of both.
Okay.
Who is
Okay.
your favorite video game protagonist?
Okay.
With a dash of best, like who's someone who's also got objectively some
It's
good
tied
writing
for
in
2, and I'm gonna have to decide.
there. Okay.
For only being the protagonist of 2 games in a very long series, Big Boss has got to be up on there. But if I had to pick character that I lived with and like grew as a person with, it's Arthur Morgan.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, then I'll do the same thing as you. I'll give my 2. Someone that like changed me as a person in real life, obviously Jin Sakai
Mhm.
from Ghost of
He's got it
Tsushima.
tattooed.
That guy, yes, that guy. The story of that game and just him, like it just,
Got to get on.
it
that one.
just. Oh my, you do. That's next.
Oh wait, can I change my answer?
Are you gonna?
I
Don't
just
say it. Don't say it.
can I swap Big Boss out for James Sunderland?
Okay, I thought you were gonna say Sam Porter Bridges.
No, I don't think Sam Porter Bridges is even the best character in his game. I think the best character is Higgs Monaghan in that game, and he's like a completely unlikable meanie that whole game.
Yeah. No, James is. I was gonna say. While I do love Arthur Morgan, even though I'm not a big Red Dead guy, I
Mhm.
do think Arthur Morgan is a phenomenally written character, and I want to do honorable mention Kratos.
Oh yeah,
I think Kratos is actually one of the most interesting
Ellie's up there,
written
too.
characters. I would obviously Joel is also one of those, but I think Kratos is actually
Yeah.
one of the most interesting
I
written
mean,
characters ever.
What a historical turnaround. In the first game, he's basically just a blanket of "you killed my wife and daughter, and I hate you," and then
Mhm.
he's like, becomes this old man. He's like, "I want the best for you, son."
No, I'm saying like that's what I mean. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
with
like-
the original 3, the 2 prequel games in between
Mhm.
games, and then the 2 new ones, Road 2018.
What a
Ragnarok.
turnaround!
Kratos is like one of the most interesting characters like
Because
ever.
the games are still canon to the new ones, so it's
Yeah.
like that's still a part of them. But
And then
no,
another
James
one I
Sunderland,
love
Arthur
is-
Morgan.
Another one I love is just Isaac Clarke, man.
oh, that's a good
He's
one.
great. But a Big Boss is one of mine as well, and Solid.
Yeah,
Solid Snake.
I just think I
but
think
they're just ones that are a little bit more near and dear to my heart than also because they're
I
so
think-
fresh. But
Big Boss and Solid Snake are great characters, but they're a product of the narrative they exist in. I think that some of these characters stand on their own, and I'm not saying that Big Boss and Solid Snake don't, but I mean, like they are a focal point of the games they are from, and I think that they
like
exist
Big-
better in the bubble of Metal Gear Solid than they do comparison to other games.
I completely agree. Like I think Arthur Morgan.
Same thing with Sam Porter
James-
Bridges.
James Sunderland, Jin Sakai, they more so than Big Boss can stand on their own 2 feet. Is like I really love that character.
Mhm.
Big Boss is even to some degree, I arguably like more than him, but he has to fall back on the entire
The
plot
Big
line.
Boss does not make sense as a character without anything that happens in
need
that
the
series.
entire convoluted
Yeah.
storyline.
Even 5, like
all
5,
of
you
those
need
games.
5 to
No,
make sense.
I
of
would
it.
say all of them.
Yeah.
I'd say 1 through 4, Peace Walker,
5.
maybe even there's something in Portable Ops. I think that's
Yeah.
like you need so much
Did
for
you
it to
like my
all-
sunglasses? Sorry.
Did you like my sunglasses?
I'm so glad that we got to hear that guy talk at Comic-Con.
That was sick.
That was great.
That
But
was
continue,
great.
continue.
But
Sorry.
no, just like I think he relies on the plot of that entire franchise more than those characters do on the plot of their
Yeah.
games, whether it's one or more, to really boost the
Yeah.
character up. Like again, playing 100 hours of Metal Gear Solid 5 and getting to the end and being like, it's just some guy that they made to believe was big, but like there's a lot that goes into it.
I think if I may
yeah.
defend my point for a second here on the James Sunderland switch is that James Sunderland is by no means a good person. And I've always said this, like I've had a lot of like I'd like to debate within myself about how I feel about things and like within my own mind. And James is one of those characters that rattles around out there because James he does something really bad. And spoilers for Silent Hill 2. His wife is sick and she is about to die and she's going to be released from hospice and he smothers her with a pillow. And that's a horrible act to commit.
Yeah.
But it goes so far beyond just characterizing James with that. The entire game, you find out James has struggled with alcoholism. He's been locked up in a mental asylum for
actually.
yes.
Damn, I
The
didn't know that.
hospital, everything in the hospital is based off the mental hospital he stayed in.
I did not know he was in.
He in one of the posters, he cannot read the word guilt at all. The word guilt cannot be read in his Silent Hill mind.
Wow.
There's like a lot of like insinuations of possible abuse while in the hospital. And they like because he even in the end of the game he still rejects whenever somebody says that the reason you killed his wife Mary was to find somebody new. He always rejects that. He's like, that's not why I did it. The only reason I think he actually gives is that he was tired,
Right.
and that he couldn't do it anymore.
I see.
And that's a thing that like is there's a real thing. There's like a real mental disorder syndrome about like survivor caretaker's guilt or like caretaker's burden. There is a whole study about that, and I think James is such a good understanding of it because the entire game he's holding on to this delusion that Mary's still alive and I can right my wrong, and then at the end of the game he's like, you're not real and I need to let go.
Yeah.
Except not the ending that I got. In the ending that I got, he
got the
drove
dog
off a
ending.
cliff
No,
and died. But I did get the dog ending where the dog was actually running the whole town.
But no, all these characters that we've listed, they're all interesting, phenomenally written characters. But
yeah.
let's end on a happy note, Jack, because we're running low on time here. We're
Yes,
going
my
to
bad.
quickly do
I have
a
yapped
quick
today.
blitz of the blind ranking.
Okay.
You're getting Marvel movies today, considering
boy.
we were talking about that on the way here.
we were.
So, Iron Man 1. What
the original?
Yeah.
1 through 5?
do you mean 1 through 5?
Like
1,
ranking-
Iron Man 1.
No, I'm saying ranking them 1 to 5.
Yeah. Same as-
3. Perfect 3. It's a great start to the MCU. Classic movie in my heart. Can't say it gets any higher than 3.
Mike here.
Yeah, sorry. Can't say it gets any higher than 3. Classic movie. Seen it a billion times as a kid. Great.
Okay.
Perfect middle ground.
Doctor Strange,
The original,
the first one.
I'm going to give it a 4. I like Doctor Strange. I didn't love the first movie. Not because it was bad, but because Doctor Strange as a character is just not my like favorite. He's not like
Really, I love him.
I love Doctor Strange too, but like there's so many Marvel superheroes I like more than Doctor Strange.
I get that.
And it's like
he's one of my favorites though.
yeah, and I'm never gonna like tell anybody that they can't like Doctor Strange or that Doctor Strange is a bad superhero. It's just like one of those things where it's like it's just like I look at it and I'm like, it's like how you feel James Man. I like that. It doesn't vibe with me very well. So
Okay. Infinity War.
ooh. We'll put that number 1.
All right.
That's a
good spot. It's just one of the best.
That's the
It's-
crowning jewel of Marvel. Let's be honest here. Endgame, everyone says Endgame is better. Infinity War is the best.
I
one.
like Endgame a little bit better for just specific reasons, but I think Infinity War is a
better. Yeah,
movie.
I think it's just a great movie.
It's
Like we were just
so
talking about, like
good.
the scene where they're like drop the shields and they're all like fighting the creatures. It's great. And then like introducing Thanos' henchmen in the way that they did, where like
Nah, those
Spider-Man.
guys are bozos.
No, but they were enjoyable to watch. Like when Spider-Man
yeah.
shows up, he's like, "Hey, Mr. Stark." Do you
Yeah,
need
no,
help?
it was
Like
enjoyable.
they're enjoyable.
At least that dude, Mr. Telekinesis Man, got just vented.
Yeah, he just
Like
got
Among Us.
out. Yeah, but next
Um,
movie.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Okay, 5.
Good.
The worst movie ever.
Ever made.
Okay. I know a lot of people really love Ragnarok, and I love Ragnarok too. My brother Ronan is a huge fan of Ragnarok.
Mhm.
He and my dad watched that movie like 8 times. He was like, I love Thor. I don't think he's ever seen Love and Thunder. I think
Good.
I came home
Keep
from
it
the
that way.
theater and I was like, Ronan, don't even bother.
It's so bad.
Because there was a clear idea, and then I think Taika Waititi, Marvel told him, make it funny, but like funny like Friends funny. And he was like, okay. And nobody stopped him from like character
That-
assassinating like every
Nah,
character
just
in that movie.
assassinating the MCU.
I think Taika Waititi, had they not given him the direction of making quirky Friends funny movie, I think could
that
have
was
made
a him thing.
No, I think it was partially a him thing, and I think it's partially because Marvel gave him that idea and let him run off with it. Because look at Jojo Rabbit. He made that movie, and that movie's like a decent like comedy.
No, but I'm saying I think he did it with the Ragnarok and then that, and it was like, let me dial it
Yeah,
up.
that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying is that Marvel didn't dial it back. They encouraged it.
Okay.
I believe a lot of people have said on the set that like when he wrote Jojo Rabbit, the studio had to be like, this is not funny. Cut this out because
Mhm.
this is too like much. I remember hearing something about that, and somebody was like, they gave Taika Waititi too much control of the
I
script.
got you. But, well, your last one was Captain America 1.
Okay,
so
I like that one.
that's
That's
two.
2. That's a good one. It's a good one.
list. That's
First
a
Avengers,
decent
great
list,
one. It's
yeah.
got that great song, the Captain America song that they
Mhm.
sing. So
Well, we went a little over, so
yeah.
we're going to wrap this up quick. Thank you, everyone, for joining us again.
Sorry
This
for
week's
the yap.
episode of the Pop Culture Crew. We will have plenty more next week for
Oh,
you
yeah, we have a
guys.
lot to
Hope a
talk
bunch
about.
of interesting stuff. Maybe we'll catch a few movies in the theaters. But other than that,
Yep.
everybody have a great day. We'll see you
See ya.
later. Thank you.